Dimineața.
Good morning. I am Ionel Nitsu, the chair of the New Strategy Center, and we wish you a heartful welcome, especially our guests from abroad, many of them for the first time in Bucharest. Distinguished guests, we organized this conference on the rebuilding of Ukraine, the second one organized by New Strategy Center. 2 years ago, we had another event in Sinaia. This time, it's a 2-day event with quite the broad public and attendees, over 300, 28 panels, and about 130 speakers and moderators. Romania has supported Ukraine from the first day of the aggression of the Russian Federation. And we had a multi-dimensional support. An important part was on the economic sector. We want today to debate the opportunities and possible investments in the economic sector, given that Romania is a neighboring state to Ukraine, and we know very well the issues going on there. Our main objective is to create, through these debates, a platform for dialogue involving decision makers. And we would like to thank the ministers, the chair of the Senate, the state advisor to the presidency, the MPs, heads of committees that support us in this endeavor. We would also like to thank the companies present here, not only for supporting us in such an event in very good conditions, but because they are directly involved in being part of the process of rebuilding Ukraine. We also want to increase awareness on related issues to the rebuilding, both security-wise and humanity-wise, socially speaking, economically speaking. Therefore, we will also tackle the issues of security in the region, because the peace perspective is sometimes uncertain, but the reconstruction process depends on it. Of course, the process of rebuilding Ukraine is happening as we speak, but not at the scale that will follow after, hopefully, a long, stable peace and with the agreement of Ukraine. And another idea that we would like to launch and support in these 2 days is to support the Romania, Ukraine, Republic of Moldova trio strategically, given the geographic continuity of the area, but also given the need to develop logistic hubs and production hubs neighboring Ukraine, necessary for the reconstruction process. We also have the Black Sea area that we split, and the Danube, and the Romanian harbors to the Danube, Giurgiu, Shiran, and Ismail, can become a regional hub for reconstruction. Also, given the finances provided by the European Commission to increase the volume of transport on the Danube. We've brought over experts from all throughout the sectors, public, private, security, business, and we want that you interact directly and as honestly as possible to our Ukrainian partners. We have very many representatives, but both at the diplomacy level, but also zonal administrations in the near border with the Ukraine. As you've seen, we have quite a busy agenda with a lot of debates. We tried to take a multi-dimensional approach, and I can only say that in the end, well, we want you to take home as many answers that you can take to your questions, but also opportunities to develop the partnerships to rebuild Ukraine. thank you, our hosts from the National Military Center, and that our hosts, sponsors as well, without whom we could not have organized this event. And I do hope you have fruitful debates throughout the 2 days. Now, allow me to give the floor to the State Advisory to the Presidential Chancellery, Mr. Vlad Ionescu. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished participants. We salute the organization by New Strategy Center of this conference for a crucial topic, including for Romania, rebuilding Ukraine, and what entails the process. At the beginning of next year, we will have 4 years since the illegal war waged by Russia started in Ukraine. With every passing day, we each appreciate the courage and determination that Ukraine continues to stand by its independence, integrity, and independence. As I said, Romania is a EU state and NATO ally with the longest border with Ukraine, and the resistance of a neighboring country represents a struggle for the joint values and the security of our region, of the European continent and beyond it. That is why Romania is fully committed to give Romania the multidimensional support that it needs to face and cope with this aggression. We support the route to the European accession and also in the process of reconstruction. We appreciate especially the peace efforts coordinated by President Trump and the U.S. presidency alongside all member states. We believe that the transatlantic coordination continues to be vital. The European Union has to keep its role in all aspects regarding the continent's security and stability. Russia is the main threat in the long run for the Black Sea region and for the Euro-Atlantic security. Romania will continue to stand by a just, long-standing peace to provide Ukraine solid security guarantees that stop the possibility that Russia resumes the aggression. Now, the latter continues ruthlessly to attack Ukraine. This irresponsible conduct shows that Russia does not take in good faith in the peace process, and we have to grow together, increase pressure on it to make it really be part of the negotiations. This bloodshed must stop, and those responsible for the crimes of war have to be made accountable. The unjust war and the assertive behavior of Russia influence the most vulnerable states in the area, especially the Republic of Moldova. So we have to continue to pay special attention to it, to help it with resilience, energy security, and protection against hybrid threats. Now, reaching to the main topic of this conference, for whom I would like to congratulate the organizers again, rebuilding Ukraine. Let me stress that Ukraine is in its most advantageous geographic position to ease the rebuilding process of Ukraine. The harbors of the Black Sea, especially Constanța, but also the Danube harbors, and the opportunities provided by rail and road links fully developed and being developed have to turn Romania into a multimodal hub. The infrastructure in the region, existing and planned, also provide a strategic advantage. Beyond our positioning, Romania can contribute significantly to reconstruction through institutions, through the business environment, knowing the region and the links set. Also, Romania's role was quite important in the past years regarding humanitarian aid and transit of products exported by Ukraine, and this role will continue to be strengthened in the reconstruction phase. That is why we encourage the private sector in Romania to be active in the rebuilding process and joint investments to expand and modernize transport, logistics, energy, and digital infrastructure activities at the border. The Romanian government coordinates this complex effort, and Romania will continue to use resources at European level, including through the SAFE mechanism. The process of reconstruction is tightly linked to Ukraine's accession to the EU, both stimulated by the expanded reform agenda, and all of these should be hand in hand. The broad reforms in all sectors rely on a high-performing market, open one, that can provide investors opportunities and better jobs. And Romania believes that the integrated approach on the reconstruction and regional reconstruction have to include the Republic of Moldova as well and the connectivity to the Black Sea. Both the Republic of Moldova and Ukraine advanced on the EU accession. So reconstruction processes on reconnectivity, infrastructure, technology, digital infrastructure as well will be depending on this. Romania has a plan for a new road connection. A new motorway links Bucharest to the will link Bucharest to the border with Ukraine is being developed. The Danube transport capacity is improved significantly. We have seen modernizations at all harbors and railway hubs. Constanța is now the main transport hub for Ukraine in the region. All these projects will play a great role to rebuild Ukraine and to interconnect it with the EU single market. These are projects going towards reconstruction and recovery, also being ready for the moment when Ukraine and the Republic of Moldova will be EU member states. Let me conclude stressing that Romania will be a great partner in the phase of rebuilding Ukraine, and we will be as swift as possible to react strategically. Thank you very much.
Vă mulțumim, domnule consilier de.
Thank you, State Advisor. Now I have the pleasure to give the floor to the President of the Senate, His Excellency Mircea ABRUDEAN.
Bună dimineața tuturor.
Good morning, everyone.
To our guests from other countries. Mulțumesc pentru invitație.
Thank you for extending the invitation and congratulations, New Strategy Center, for organizing this international conference under the high patronage of the Ministry of External Affairs, Foreign Affairs of Romania and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Ukraine. It's quite the important topic. Rebuilding Ukraine is no longer a theoretical topic for debate. It is a political, economic and security emergency for Europe. The war of aggression waged by the Russian Federation has generated historical consequences. Cities were destroyed, the civil infrastructure was hit systematically. Energy grids, power grids, hospitals, schools have become targets. The conflict has generated one of the worst humanitarian crises in the Europe of the past decades. The estimates of the costs for rebuilding Ukraine at this time are about 500 billion euro, according to the most recent World Bank assessment. The estimate covers a period of 10 years, and it's 2.8 times Ukraine's GDP for 2024. The numbers evolution shows a quick deterioration. In February 2023, the assessment was 392 billion euro. In March 2024, the amount went up to 464 billion. At the beginning of 2025, the threshold of 500 billion was already exceeded. The invasion, started on the 24th of February 2022, has caused tens of thousands of deaths and millions of people that were relocated. The bombing have cleared cities from the map. Power grids were attacked in successive hits. Almost 75% of the damages are in areas near the front. The regions of Donetsk, Kharkov, Lugansk, and Zaporozhye and Kherson are the most impacted. The Kyiv region is daily under direct attacks. 13% of the housing stock was damaged or destroyed. Over 2.5 million households were affected. This means exodus, lack of housing, and local collapse of regional economies. In this context, reconstruction cannot just be simple rebuilding the past. It must be building of a modern state. Ukraine needs a new energy infrastructure. It needs energy-efficient buildings. It needs functional hospitals. It needs schools adapted to the digital economy. And it needs electronic administration and stable public services. The European Investment Bank and the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development finance already transport, energy, and public administration projects. The financing cover program of institutional reform, not just construction sites. And the rebuilding is relying on 4 pillars. The first, critical infrastructure. The second, the social component. The third, relaunching the private economy. And the fourth, reforming the state. Energy is a priority. The grids that were destroyed are rebuilt with a modern technology. The end objective is to fully integrate them in the European energy market and to reduce external dependency. The international support is specific and allocated per sectors. Germany is focusing on the energy sector. France is developing urban projects. The Baltic states contribute to digitalization. Poland invests in logistics. Italy coordinates heritage projects. Romania has the opportunity to become a reconstruction regional hub. The geographic position provides us quite the objective advantage. The Constanța harbor has become one of the main routes for Ukrainian exports. The volumes have tripled compared to the period prior to the war. The same infrastructure can support transport of construction material, industrial machinery, and fuel. Romanian companies may and must participate directly. The construction sector has the capacity to get the job done. The energy industry can deliver projects. The IT sector can contribute to digitalization. Universities can provide specialists. Romania can create economic cooperation platforms. It can ease cross-border partnerships. It can become a training center for engineers and project managers. This role requires vision at the government level and quick mechanisms. Simple procedures draw in investments, and legal stability creates predictability. The reconstruction process generates benefits that go beyond the borders of Ukraine. Stability generates regional security, and a functional economy reduces forced migration. Reconstruction cannot exist without security. The military support remains essential because defense allows for investments to go down smoothly. Without protection, the capital will go. The war of aggression of the Russian Federation must stop. A fair peace will lead to stability. Ukraine defends a vital principle. No country can be reshaped forcibly. Europe cannot accept the politics of a given action. The reconstruction process is linked directly to the European trajectory of Ukraine. Reforms become a condition for financing, and institutions are built alongside infrastructure. Thus, reconstruction becomes a European accession tool. For the economic environment, this process opens one of the largest investment markets of the past decades. The projects will cover transport, energy, agriculture, housing, and technology. For the decision makers, the stakes are quite a long-term strategy. Decisions of today will define Europe's security architecture. For the experts, the demand is massive. We need design, quality control, management, and standardization. Romania has the capacity to become a major player. We have a strategic position, we've got the resources, and of course there's interest. The future of Ukraine is being decided now. Europe's stability is being built as we speak, and the responsibility is to all of us. I hope that you all have useful, pragmatic discussions, and let's see each other in good health with better news. Thank you.
Mulțumim, domnule.
Thank you, Chair. and I salute the presence of Minister Wanatoyo in the room. As Mr. ABRUDEAN said, we have this conference under the high patronage of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Romania and Ukraine. So the first panel is, of course, to the two line ministries. Do allow us a maximum 2-minute break to get the panel ready, and we will jump directly to the discussions. Again, thank you so much for being here, and all the best to your debates.